introduced our new user interface. It was a little more intuitive for our users, brought you through the program cleanly, guiding you when to size and select your valve and then your actuator. So that was a big release for us. 2016, starting in January, we released 3.1 and then in April 3.2. I'm going to be going over what these new introductions were, features and enhancements, and any changes we made to the system. So SelectPro 3.1 was released January 2016. With this, we removed our PIV modeling module. Now this is a very helpful module for customers to use when doing any pressure-independent valves. We wanted to keep this as an option for you, but we removed it from SelectPro because there's so many formulas and background logic in this module that it was kind of slowing down SelectPro a bit, and so I made the choice to remove it. We still offer this tool as a Windows download application. You can find it on belimo.us underneath the sizing and selection landing page. It's located right below Belimo SelectPro. You'll see it right here with the big red arrow. You can download it, and right next to it has the instructions on how to use the PIV energy modeling tool if you have never used it before. And then this green application icon will be added to your desktop. So whenever you need to use it, you can just find out your desktop and open it from there. We added this new quote generator export option. Previously, it was known as the PDF download. Basically, what it had done in the past was just take the Excel export, save it as a PDF onto your computer. But it was really small, hard to read. It really didn't do any function that was great other than being able to send out the schedule without allowing somebody to edit it. I had taken one of our SAP quotes and made it match so that it was the same look and feel, very professional looking. It comes directly out of SelectPro. Anything in this red type over here is just showing that whatever you're entering into SelectPro, it's automatically going to put it into this PDF. So the name of your customer, the address, if there's a discount rate, the date you're putting the quote was together, so whenever it was generated out of SelectPro, it automatically puts that date, the project reference, project name, who it was created by, and the customer number. So as long as you have all of these fields entered into SelectPro, they will populate on this quote generator. It also puts the products, obviously, and a quick description of what they are, the quantity that you have entered into the line item, their list price, if there's a multiplier, what the net price would be, and then the total. We have a couple options for you when you're exporting to the quote generator. You have the option to, it will show right here when you click the quote generator button. It will allow you to either produce a standard quote, as you see here in the screen, or you have the option of only showing the grand total only, so removing all of the different line item pricing. List price only, so if they don't get a discount or you don't necessarily want them to see their discount right off the bat, you could choose just list price only. And then Belimo has our two-page terms and conditions on how we do our pricing and what our business model is. So you can choose to include them, or you can uncheck the box because it is checked automatically to take them off of the quote. We went live with our zone type valves, and with these new valves we have a new nomenclature. So many of our customers were writing to me saying that they weren't familiar yet with the nomenclature -RR, -LR, -LL, and what this stood for. So we added this new fail position attribute to the actuator selection section only when you're selecting zone type valves, whether it be PIQCV or QCV. And what that does is now you have the option underneath fail position to choose the normally closed, fail closed, normally open, or normally open, fail open. There were some updates done to our Excel export. So in SelectPro we have different tabs in the schedule that show water, pressure, independent, and steam. So when you export into Excel, it also shows those tabs in Excel based on what's shown in your schedule. I had gotten some feedback saying that it would be nice to have them all in one tab rather than having to copy and paste the tabs over into one tab when they got into Excel. So now you have the option. You could either keep them in separate tabs if that's how you prefer to look at your schedule in Excel, or you have the option to combine the water, steam, and pressure independent schedules when you export to Excel, and that pop-up will come up when you click the button. We have also added the feature that when you export to Excel, it will default and name the file the project name that you already entered in SelectPro, so that you're not retyping all of these things every time you're making an export. And with our 6-way valves, because they have 2 different CVs, now we have the ability to size the 6-way on both of those CVs. So when you click on a 6-way valve, or if you click on the 6-way family at the top underneath application parameters, you will be able to see the 2 CVs come up, and then you can size based on both of the CVs. SelectPro 3.2 was released April 1st of this year. It coincides with our 2016 pricing update that we do every year. I had been doing a training back in January with a customer, and they were not aware of our SelectPro Export Builder. So with this new release, since we removed the PIV energy modeling module, I had decided to put in this SelectPro Export Builder in its place. So what this does is it's a really useful tool for any of you that have databases on your end that you need to populate with all of Belimo's products information, our technical attributes, our pricing, etc. So what this export builder actually allows you to do is format the export in the way you need it. So if you don't say list price, but you just say price, or you don't say control, you say actuator control. It allows you to change the name of the attributes so that they match whatever you need them to say, and also it gives you the option to only export attributes that are important to you. So if you really only want our products and our price, you'll be able to do that as well. And this exports either all of Belimo's products or just actuators, just retrofit. Later in the presentation, I will walk you through it a little bit so you get a better visualization, but this is something to keep in mind if you have databases with our Belimo products in them. Always feel free to email selectpro@us.belimo.com if you need further explanation or just want to talk about it, ask a couple questions. Not a problem. We added a new reference documents tab. It's a drop-down menu option that hosts all of our relevant informative documents. It has documents, wiring guide, MFT guide, how we size our valves, how we size dampers, the retrofit custom forms to fill out. It's a great area for information. If you have any further requests, different documents you think would be a good idea to put in, please let me know. This was just a nice thing to have, so when you're in SelectPro and you have a question or you just want to take a look at something, instead of going to our website, which all of these documents are on belimo.us as well, or looking in the PGPL, you can just stay in SelectPro, click on reference documents, and then when you click on whatever document you need, it automatically opens the PDF. We moved the effective pressure drop to the top bar in the valve selection underneath the CV. We did this because if you see in the previous version, this bar was down at the bottom of the valve selection box, and sometimes it was just missed or overseen because it was kind of like all the way at the bottom and people weren't noticing it. So what I had done was I just moved it into that top navigation bar so that you see all of the information on the valve in one central location. I had received many emails about our rules on recommended or the calculated CV in SelectPro. So what we had done is I worked with a couple of product managers here in Danbury, and we took a look. We had a very strict rule on our calculated CV. So the way SelectPro worked in the past was when you entered your parameters for your valve, it would show you the calculated CV, and then SelectPro was told as a rule to show only the calculated CV and above, to show nothing below that calculated CV. And we had this very conservative rule just to make sure that nobody was sizing valves incorrectly or undersizing. Now, after talking to a bunch of people and seeing that there is some room to wiggle with, we decided to drop it 11%. So now SelectPro will show you 11% below the calculated CV for valves. And I had went back and took the 20-something emails I had saying I should have seen a valve and I'm not seeing it in SelectPro based on the very conservative rule. And all of those 20-something valves were shown now with this new 11% drop for the calculated CV. So if anyone's still experiencing issues, please email, once again, selectpro@us.belimo.com, and we can look into that further. Another new feature we added was customer profiles. This new function allows you to save a library of your customer contact profiles. So for any of you out there that are putting together schedules and constantly changing your customers, it's a pain to have to re-enter the customer name, address, every time you go to do the schedule. So what this allows you to do is you enter it once, you name it, customer ABC, you save it, and then next time you go to open SelectPro, you'll be able to hit on that drop-down arrow right here, and it will show you your library of customer contact profiles, and then you can switch between as you're doing your schedules. We launched our new ANSI 250 EV and EPIV valves in SelectPro, and we did our general data and 2016 pricing updates. This is another new function that we added. It's a view all function. This new button is called view combined. It's at the bottom by the schedule. I'll show you that as well. And what that allows you to do is view all of the products you have selected within the different modules in SelectPro in one screen. So if you're putting together a large schedule, maybe 100 or more than 100 different line items and valves, actuators, retrofit, linkages, maybe you used our quick quote module to put together a portion of the schedule because that's where we host our economizers. This allows you, before you go and export it out, whether it be to Excel, you want to go email it, you want to do a quote, generate a quote out of the new quote generator, or if you're saving this so that you can upload it to our website to place an order, this just gives you another check and balance so you can take a look and see that yes, okay, good, I see. I got my actuators, I got my valve assemblies, I got my retrofit linkages, okay, I'm good to export it. Because it can be a pain sometimes if you went to export your schedule, you get all the way to that last ordering process and you see, oh, I missed this whole section, I forgot to put it in SelectPro. So this just gives you that extra check and balance. And then we made a layout change just to the valve module in SelectPro, and what this was, it's a new selection layout that will lead the user through the program, directing them to fill out the sizing criteria. So for anyone new to the program or just isn't quite confident in making valve selections based on their information, this leads you from the top to the bottom. So before it used to show valve parameter and then valve selection. So you'd enter your valve parameters and then you would choose your valve, and then you would enter your actuator parameters, and then you would choose your actuator. What this does now is it puts all the parameters to the top of the screen. So for anyone that's not comfortable sizing something or not used to it, they're new to the program, they're going to look at it and say, okay, let me enter all my parameters first, and then when they scroll to the bottom, they'll see, okay, I can select this based on what I entered, and I can select this actuator based on the valve that I selected. It keeps us from having to restrict the tool for customers who aren't familiar with the program without having to lock down the different attributes so that people who are familiar with the tool aren't required to fill in every single attribute. So this went live. We also got a lot of complaints about having just the new scrolling layout because in the past SelectPro was a horizontal selection layout and now it is a vertical selection layout. So people were complaining that they had to scroll up, scroll down, scroll up, scroll down many times in one application or one schedule. And now what this allows you to do by having all the parameters at the top is you enter all your parameters, scroll down once, choose your valve and actuator, and then put it into your schedule. And then for the next one, you scroll up once, enter everything, scroll down once. So it's not the back and forth constant scrolling. We are going to open SelectPro now. just to do a quick walkthrough so you could see everything live that I was just talking about. Here's the SelectPro Export Builder that I talked about before. So when you open it, you'll see up here, valve assemblies, damper actuators, valve retrofit, damper retrofit, piping package, and accessories. You have this box right here that says use in export, so you can choose to say, yes, I want to export all these valve assemblies. And then here are some filtering options. So if you only wanted to export our energy valves and only the half-inch energy valves, you can do that. You click use and export, and then you can go to the next tab. You only want to export our electronic fail-safe actuators, use and export, move to the next one, etc. And then down here it gives you that option, configure columns. So when I click on this button, it allows me to choose which attributes I want to include or not include. If you don't want to go through all of these, you can just hit unselect all, and then you can choose, maybe you only want to see the torque and the auxiliary switches, just for an example. Then you can say, when you click on this, use custom attribute name, and then here's where you can change it and say, maybe it's abbreviated, maybe you only put it like this, TORQ period. So it allows you to use the custom attribute names here. And then you click OK, and it'll only show you what you chose. Obviously, I did a bad example, but this was just to show you where the button is and how to maneuver through the program. Once you're done with everything, it'll show you how many records you have, and then you can click the export option, and it exports everything to Excel. Going back to main SelectPro, we choose the valve module. You see open SelectPro right here. This is that new reference documents drop down. If you click on it, you'll see all the different information, all the different documents we host now, different guides, our standards, PIV flow verification, the valve retrofit forms, our sizing guides, etc. If you go over to my account, edit my customer information, this is where you'll see the customer profile. You'll be able to drop down, hit load, and it will load that next company. Down here at the bottom, here's that view combined button. So when you check this, I have nothing in my schedule right now, but this is where it would show everything in just this little screen. You have the option to extend the screen, so if you have a really large schedule, you can make it the maximum size that your screen is. And then here's our quote generator button right here. Thank you very much for your time today. In just a few moments, Michaela will lead the question and answer portion of the webinar.
All right, thank you so much, Danielle, for that excellent presentation. It is now time to open up the floor for those question and answers. Everyone has access to the question box, so you will be able to type in your question and Danielle will answer them as best as possible. But before we get started, I just want you to keep in mind that SelectPro is a general sizing software. For more specific applications, please direct your questions to your Belimo District Sales Manager and our technical support team. So Danielle, we do have a couple of questions that came through. First one is, how do I download SelectPro and where is it located?
SelectPro is located on the belimo.us site. It is located under our sizing and selection homepage. It's the first thing that comes up on that page. So if you go to belimo.us, at the top navigation bar, it says sizing and selection tool. Click on that, and SelectPro is the first thing that will come up. It will have a button that says download SelectPro. Once you click on it, it'll automatically start the download.
Perfect. And another individual asked, can you download this as an app on your smartphone?
Currently, it is not an app for a smartphone. We are working towards adding that in the future. You can download it for anybody that has a Microsoft Surface or tablet, not an iPad, but a Surface or a tablet. You can download SelectPro on that.
Okay. The next question is, I have downloaded SelectPro, but I keep getting an error message when I try to open it on my computer.
Okay, I actually have a slide prepared in case this came up. So what happens with SelectPro is because it's a Belimo software, it's not like a worldwide software that all of Windows is familiar with. So your computer is just trying to protect you from downloading any possible virus onto your computer or software that it's not trusted. So you can download SelectPro, and then you'll get the app on your desktop, you'll go to open it, and like Michaela just said, you'll see an error message, or it'll keep clocking out, or it'll keep failing. So this is the fix to do that. You are going to go to your computer, your local disk C, your program files, and you're going to choose Belimo SelectPro. It will be on your computer. When you go down, you'll see the little app icon, and it'll say Belimo Pro app.exe. If you right-click on that, you can hit Run as Administrator. This is a one-time fix. It should fix SelectPro forever. You won't have to do this every time you open it. But essentially, you're telling your computer, I can trust this document. I'm choosing it from an administrator point of view, and your computer will remember that going forward.
All right, thank you so much, Danielle. The next question is, can you repeat the website, please?
The website is belimo.us.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, I seem to be having a problem with the butterfly section. The HD and HDU series does not come up as a selectable valve assembly. I am using parameters that this series should meet.
Okay. I have had a complaint on the HD HDU in the past week. Our current Butterfly product manager is out of the office right now at a training, so it is something we'll be looking into within the next week or so to see if there is a restriction on the selection in the background or if it's just data is mapping incorrectly in the tool. But thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Okay. Next question, will you be planning to provide Mac version of this software?
I'm sorry, Michaela, can you repeat that?
Sure. Will you be planning to provide a Mac version of SelectPro?
I'm not aware of that being a problem on MacBooks currently. If anyone's having trouble downloading SelectPro on their Mac PC, if they just let me know, I can talk with our vendor about that and see if there's something wrong in the background.
Okay. What is the difference between SelectPro Download and SelectPro Online?
SelectPro Download is a Windows application that actually, we have more the ability of adding more features, additional options, different exports on SelectPro Download, or the SelectPro Windows application, as opposed to our online version, which is hosted on the internet. I always recommend to use the downloaded version of SelectPro, and that's because with internet connection, different browsers, they're not always stable. SelectPro Online should still show the same products that we show in SelectPro Downloaded, same pricing, etc. It just might not have all of the export options that we offer in the SelectPro Windows application and the different features that we've been adding. But when it comes to pricing and products and the formulas we use to size our valve and actuators, it is the same. If you are using SelectPro Online and that's what you prefer to use, please keep in mind that Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox is the best browsers to use. Internet Explorer doesn't seem to be working correctly at this moment.
All right, and I just want to conclude this session today. I want to thank everyone who participated in our webinar. I want to thank Danielle Brees for being an excellent presenter. If you should have an additional question after the webinar ends, please feel free to email us at selectpro@us.belimo.com. Our next webinar is going to be on the 15th of June at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will be on common control methods for fire and smoke dampers. So we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar, and thank you so much. Have a great day.